morning,
Morning.
everybody. I know it's pretty crappy out today, unlike the hot weather that we started to have, but I wanted to talk about water this morning because this is the time of the year where I always focus on the water with my clients, but this is the time where I really start to pound on it every single day, as I know the water, the weather is going to get warmer. And most clients, when they first come to me, this is one of the biggest issues, believe it or not, is the changes that they're going to have to make with drinking water. I would say that more than half of clients that come to me initially don't drink it. It's really incredible. They'll drink coffee, they drink tea, they drink Snapple, they drink soda, they drink juice, lots of milk drinkers. It's incredible how many people do not, the only water they have is in their coffee, in their tea, and when they're brushing their teeth. And it's hard to believe, but it's really the truth. And when they see initially, again, depending upon how much weight they need to lose, will determine how much water they need, that they have to drink 8 cups a day, or 10 cups or 12 cups. I can't explain this look of horror that comes over their face for most of the time. But anyway, I wanted to talk about water today because there's 2 reasons. Not only necessarily with weight loss, but because of how important it is. Most people just think water is good for peeing. But that's really not the case. The four main reasons why we need water is because it regulates our body temperature, it protects our organs and joints. If you had no water in your body, your bones would be scraping together all day long, which does happen to quite a few people. It aids obviously in digestion, it transports nutrients, the glucose through your blood, and obviously the last one, and most importantly, is to remove the waste from your body, both urine and stool. So I wanted you just to try to draw a visual, and I do this with clients in the office. The first page that you have there, it's cartoonish, I know, but just, if you look at the right side for a second, you see 30%, and I just wrote down various organs of the body. There's got to be 20-something organs there, and then I could go on and on and on and on. It would be literally several miles long between every organ you have in your body, and then all the functions of the body, heart beating, inhaling, exhaling, blood flowing. 30% of us is minuscule, but it's so much involved there. And then if you look at the other side of this body, 70% and more of us is water. Now, whether you believe in God or some other superpower, the bottom line is we were created with that much fluid in the body for a reason. It's not by accident. So when you think about this, if you guys, as you're sitting here today, if you never got out of bed, if you were, God forbid, you were paralyzed, you couldn't move any part of your body except blinking all day long, that was the only energy expended all day. Your body needs 70% water just to keep you alive in the chair or in the bed. I mean, think about that. Your body is like, you picture yourself literally as one of those gigantic, blue water canisters on top of the water cooler. That's you. That's Nancy, that's Laura, that's Mike, that's it. I mean, literally, that's you. And you're just sitting in bed all day long, not doing a damn thing. All day long, that water canister is going to get lower and lower and lower because your body needs it to keep you alive. That's on one half. Now let's just say obviously you're active. Going to work, driving, getting in and out of the car, moving the shopping cart, playing with your kids, talking on the phone, breathing, anything that you do, talking, anything. Where's the water coming from? You don't have 2 canisters, one for your body functions and one for your activity level. You golf, you're playing sports, you're doing all these kind of things. Everything else that you do, the water that's needed for that is coming from that same canister. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why, if your own mind, if you can visualize this, and when I talk to kids, I present it this way, you are that blue canister, and you've got to keep that water level to the top or as close as you can get it all day long, because that's the only place your body is getting its fluid from. Your brain alone takes up almost 70% of the water in your body. Why is this important? Because if your body gets threatened, if you don't have enough fluid in the body, your body gets a sense of dehydration way before you know it. When you hear that word dehydration, and even most kids understand, I always ask them, what does dehydration mean to you? And they always say it's like when you're really thirsty, when you have dry skin, when your mouth is already parched, you have this dryness in the throat and all that. But that is way before you start to feel that. Your body is becoming dehydrated inside. What those dry lips and everything is the manifestation of it, correct? So the bottom line is that when your body gets threatened because there's not enough water here, go to the second page for a second that you have there. You'll see, excuse me, in the left margin, all throughout your body, you have cells. We're made of billions and billions of cells, but around every single microscopic cell in the body. Picture this pen, okay, that's a little cell, that's you. And around every cell of the body, there's something called extracellular space. It's biological. So you're in the middle, and picture yourself around here like you remember when the tubes that you used when you were kids, and they're nice and puffy, and you're in the middle, and it keeps you from drowning. So you've got an extracellular space around every cell of the body, and this is you in the middle. When your body is threatened by the lack of water, your body will try to do everything it can to try to prevent you from becoming totally dehydrated and pass it out. It starts to pull water from your body wherever it can find it. From your bones. What happens when that happens? Ask somebody in the gym what happens when they're writhing in pain because they've got all kinds of cramps because they lost too much fluid in the gym and they weren't drinking while they were there. It'll take it from your blood. What happens when that happens? When the water is removed from your blood has a hard time pumping back to the heart, not to mention moving the nutrients of your lunch or your breakfast through your blood. It'll take it from your brain. What happens when that happens? You start getting fatigued, you start getting irritable, you can't concentrate as much. Even if you're young and you're healthy in every way, it could only be 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock, it could be 10 in the morning. You can't concentrate, you don't have a good retention. And this is why water is so important. So you always have to think about this all throughout the day. In the summertime especially, this is a biggie. This is a biggie. Now, when I grew up in Brooklyn, I was a beach person. I don't know how they do it in New Jersey. Lifeguards in the Brooklyn, in the New York system, they are taught in the summertime. You will always see lifeguards on top, and you will always see a lifeguard on the bottom. And every now and then, they're looking out on the beach closest to where they're sitting. The reason for this is because you know what, you've heard of heat stroke. Heat stroke is not like where you get a stroke, your blood vessels, a whole different story. Heat stroke means your body's temperature is rising so rapidly and you're not drinking fluid, correct? Water is what regulates your body temperature. So it's a 95 or 100 degree day. Now you fell asleep. Your temperature is rising while you're sleeping. You have a stroke in your sleep. Do you understand what I just said? So when you're sleeping, if you're alone especially, lifeguards in Brooklyn anyway, they will look out for this and they will go over and they'll tap you. Or they'll ask the person that you're with how long have they been asleep, you might want to give them a shove. Forget the fact that you can get a massive sunburn if you're not protected. Aside from that, you can have a stroke in your sleep. So you got to be very mindful of that with your kids, with your family members when you go to the beach. Make sure they're drinking fluid because between sweating, and this is what people don't understand, when you sweat, you see your body losing that fluid. You can see it, so it makes sense to you. But when you're talking, you're losing water. Like in the wintertime, you ever talk to somebody outside in the cold? All that mist that you see is water that you're losing. People don't associate with it. They just think it's, I don't know, some magical mist that comes because of the cold weather. So this is really how important water is. And I'm just bringing it up now because, look, everybody in this room is in rather good shape. You're an athlete. You're out all the time. When you're golfing, all those holes of golf, even if you don't feel it, if you don't feel thirsty, that's not a good sign either. Drink all day long. Make sure you're getting in at minimum should be 8. But 10 to 12 glasses, this is a 50 ounce, I wanted to point this out. This is 50 ounces and 6 cups. I have 2 of these every single day religiously, and if I drink more, that's just gravy. This, last point I want to make about what this has to do with weight loss, there's a lot that water has to do with weight loss, but I'm just going to end with this, and I always tell people, I ask people, pick this up. This weighs 3.5 pounds. So if you're not peeing it out, where is it? Answer, on the scale. Remember I told you about your cells holding onto water? I mentioned how they'll start to hold onto fluid. So picture this, a cell in the center of my hand, water around it. The weight of this water coming down all day long forces your cells to open or prevents them from closing. That's why when you're drinking all day long and you're urinating all day long, you're not giving your cells a chance to fill up with fluid. You're urinating regularly, which is your body's way of telling you, we have enough water, we're releasing the rest. That's a sign of a very healthy body. It's inconvenient sometimes, especially when you're busy, but it's really important. So I would tell everybody in this room, as the weather is coming, try to have 10 to 12, try to have 2 of these bottles every single day. It's great, and you won't have a problem. You won't have a problem with overheating yourself. You won't have a problem with bloat and how awful that feels. So that's my recommendation today. Any questions?
Excellent.
You do? What?
Yeah. Does iced tea, coffee...
Doesn't count.
Does it
No.
dehydrate you? Does it do the reverse?
No, listen, caffeine is dehydrating, 100% hot coffee, but listen, the more water you put into it, the more watered down it becomes, the less dehydrating it is. But whenever people ask me all this time, well, can I have this? It's, it's got water in it. I don't care how much coffee you drink, it doesn't replace water. Once you put a tea bag in a cup of water, it changes the composition of the fluid. So my role is to get people to drink water because also of the habit of it.
Mm-hmm.
You can get water in fruit, you can get water in vegetables. It's not the same concentrated water only, 8 to 10 cups a day. And it's a psychological thing in my office. I want people to get out of that habit of having the soda. And if they drink more water, they force to cut down their 6 cans of Coca-Cola in the morning before 11 o'clock to maybe 2 that day to wean them off it. You see what I'm saying?
Will that affect joints too? Water, not
In a positive way.
No. Like, so I think about my dad, right? Who had just had his hip replaced.
Yeah.
He never drank water.
But no, it's not good.
Coffee in the morning, drink at night.
No. It's listen. I've got a lot of people refer to me, orthopedists. People have, and they always tell them the same thing. Water cushions your joints.
Right.
Think about that. It cushions your joints. It's so important.
And
So
I was told too that the first couple times you drink all this water, you're going to pee every half hour, but your body gets used to it after a certain point.
your body, yes,
Right?
but that's called having a good habit.
No, right.
You
so,
never stop. In other words, your body never gets so used to it that you're immune to urinating. You
No,
do
right,
urinate regularly. But it's a wonderful, like when you wake up in the morning, everybody, the longest period of time that you go without drinking or eating is sleep. So if let's just say you lay down to go to sleep at 11 o'clock and you get up at 7, so now you're sleeping 8 hours. Your body, remember what I said before, when it goes too long without fluid, it starts holding on to water to protect you. It's doing that in your sleep, so when you get up in the morning, if you're the kind of guy who goes to sleep with his watch on, a lot of people, women wear their rings and stuff, you will notice how puffy you are because your body is in the protection mode right now. It's doing that on purpose. That's why you start drinking this, and then all the cells start opening and releasing your fluid. That's why this is so important. Okay, and most people don't, they think it's torture, but it's very, very important to drink a lot of fluid, and in your business especially, it's great for someone's skin. Will it take away someone's scars? No, but listen, I'm 62 years old, and you're a few years younger than me, but I have good skin. I mean, I'm not saying I've got a little wrinkles, but my skin is soft, it's elastic, and it's definitely because I drink so much of this. Okay? Thank you.
Wonderful.
This is good.
Thank you.